Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Smash the like button, guys. Hit the subscribe button. Share the videos. As always, guys, I really appreciate the support, as you guys are aware. Let's get into this video. Guys, you guys are probably aware that Errol Spence and Yordenis Ugas fight has been approved. There was a bit of issue with the WBA and Yordenis Ugas fighting his, I believe, his mandatory, with his Stanios, I think his name is. And he's now agreed to step aside. And it looks like that Yordenis Ugas and Errol Spence is going to be next. I think common sense has prevailed. I didn't understand why the WBA... Like, normally you hear that, unification fights trump, mandatories. And that's totally understandable, because I feel like all governing bodies should be working together in order to try to create an undisputed champion, or try to get an undisputed champion. And that should be done across all weight classes to make boxing much better, because then you're getting the best fighting the best. You're getting champions fighting champions. And this is obviously great news, because now we'll probably get Errol Spence and Yordenis Ugas next. I will say this, though. Obviously, I feel bad for Terence Crawford, because Terence Crawford now is going to have a difficulty when he gets to the negotiation table with Errol Spence, who a lot of people would favour against Ugas. But I will come on to that, because I am very, very excited about this fight with Ugas and Spence. Terence Crawford has got a bit of an issue, because now he's been left out again. And those guys are going to fight in March. Terence Crawford just fought Sean Porter in November. So he's going to need an opponent by March as well. March, April. So it's going to be interesting who he's going to fight. Now, obviously, Keith Thurman's also taken now. Keith Thurman's going to be fighting in February. So who is Terence Crawford going to fight? I personally see there's a great opportunity to make a Danny Garcia fight. That would be a good fight, and it's a fight that Terence has wanted for a long time. Would Terence want to fight Garcia? I think he's just got to take the best possible opponent at this moment, because we know that Spence and Crawford are not, Spence and Ugas are not available. Thurman's fighting. So, I think Danny Garcia would make for a fun fight. I think Danny Garcia stylistically might be a more dangerous fight for Crawford. Although I do see Crawford outboxing him. I don't see Crawford stopping Danny Garcia. And I think Danny Garcia has got kind of power that can hurt anybody. So I think that's an interesting fight. Now, Danny Garcia has said that he wants to move up to 154. So does he have any... Is he interested in a Crawford fight? Possibly, because it's against one of the best in the world. And it's an opportunity for him to become a world champion again. He just lost a world title fight to Errol Spence, a unification fight with Spence. So, I'm pretty sure if he gets offered another world title fight, I'm pretty sure he'd take it with both hands. Especially Danny Garcia at this point in his career, he's kind of at the end. You'd say he's seen better days, but he's still a good fighter. He's not like a Khan Brook level where he's depreciated that much. He's still a top tier welterweight. And you would pick him against most, fringe world level guys that are not, top 5 in the welterweight division. So personally, I like that. I would like that fight for Crawford, but Crawford has got a problem in terms of whoever, if Ugas wins the fight, then there'll be a rematch between Ugas and Spence. If Spence wins the fight, then Crawford's got a big problem, because Spence is now going to come to the table with 3 belts. He's going to have another pay-per-view with Ugas. If that does well, then from a splits point of view, there's no way Errol Spence is going to accept 50-50. Because he's going to say, I'm a unified champion. I fought the better guys. I've beaten the better guys. I deserve a bigger split. I'm a bigger pay-per-view star. So Errol is going to say, I deserve a bigger split. So that fight is going to be very, very difficult to make, because one thing we know is that Crawford isn't accepting anything less than 50-50. Crawford is not going to accept 60-40, 45-50. He's not going to. So Errol Spence is going to have to agree to 50-50, or we'll never get that fight. I know Stephen made a point a long time ago, actually. I remember Stephen saying that you can only get what you're worth, and you can't be asking for more than what you're worth. The only problem is, I believe that Terence Crawford feels that he's accomplished a lot in the sport, and he feels that he's being disrespected. So I understand where Crawford's coming from, because Crawford has achieved a lot, and now he's fought Porter, who's arguably Errol Spence's best win. I do think if Errol Spence fights Ugas and beats Ugas, that would be his best win. I do think Ugas is better than Porter, and some people may disagree with me, but I do think Ugas is a better fighter than Porter. I actually think he beat Porter as well. I think Ugas has been unlucky throughout his career. Ugas is a very, very good fighter. I think he's not got the rub of the green, hasn't gone his way, but I think Ugas is a very dangerous fight. Now, coming on to Ugas-Spence fight, this is no gimme for Errol Spence. Errol Spence is coming off an accident. He's also coming off an eye injury. Well, he obviously fought Danny Garcia, then he obviously was supposed to fight Manny Pacquiao and he got injured. He broke his eye or orbital bone or whatever, and I think Errol Spence might not be the same fighter. Ugas is a very, very good fighter, and this may be a very dangerous fight for Errol Spence. I see this as a proper 50-50 fight. I do. And people may disagree. People may have Spence. But I'm going off the circumstance. Yes, a couple of years ago, you'd make Spence a favourite. But right now, I don't make him a favourite because Ugas, for me, looks sensational against Manny Pacquiao. Some people may say Manny Pacquiao over the hill. Irrespective, I still think the way he fought and the way he boxed was beautiful. And I think that, and he's big welterweight. He's a massive guy. What is he, 5'9"? He's long, he's rangy. He's a very, very tough fight for Errol Spence. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that's a very, very tough fight. You know, Ugas has the capability, in my opinion, to outbox Errol Spence. He does. I think that's a very dangerous fight. Very, very dangerous fight. Very dangerous fight. I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to this fight. So, yeah, and I think Ugas could give Terence Crawford a good fight. Ugas is just a good fighter. And sometimes you've got guys like Ugas that go under the radar and people don't know much about them. But they're actually very, very good fighters. And I think Ugas is in that category. He's a very good fighter. Unfortunately, not many people knew about him because he didn't have the profile or the name, which he now has gained by beating Manny Pacquiao. Because when you fight Manny Pacquiao, you're on the highest stage. So I'm really looking forward to this fight. I think it's going to be a very, very good fight. A very, very good fight. I do, however, feel for Terence Crawford. Because Terence Crawford wanted to fight Errol Spence. That fight's not going to happen. And if Errol Spence does win, then I do feel how... I just don't know how... Or, well, I feel sorry for the fans, us fans, because I don't see how that fight's going to be made. How are Errol Spence and Terence Crawford fight going to be made? I just don't know how. Because there's no way... There's just no way, you know... Errol Spence is going to agree to 50-50. And there's no way Terence Crawford is going to take less than 50-50. So, in a way, although Errol Spence and Ugas is a great fight, which it is, no doubt about it, it's a quality fight and a fight that I think makes a lot of sense. I don't know why they were pushing a mandatory on Ugas. Ridiculous. Now, I think, you know, that this is the fight we wanted to see, or a unification fight. Obviously, the fight we want to see in the welterweight division is Errol Spence and Crawford. But this is the next best thing. You know, we've got a unification fight between Spence and Ugas, which is a great fight. And I'd obviously like the winner to fight Terence Crawford, and we'll have an undisputed champion. So we're heading in that direction. We're heading in the direction of an undisputed champion. The only problem is that I worry how the negotiations are going to... How, you know, Crawford and Spence gets made. Especially if Spence wins. I do worry. I think if Spence loses, I won't be surprised if he just moves up to 154. And try to have a reign there. I don't think that, you know, if he may move up, you know, maybe use the weight as an excuse to move up, but I reckon if he does decide, I think he'll be an immediate rematch. I think if Ugas loses, then I think there won't be a rematch. And we'll get Spence v Crawford if they can negotiate that deal, which I do have my doubts about. I do have my doubts about, because like I said, how is Errol Spence gonna, you know, there's just no way I see Errol Spence accepting 50-50. Why would, if you're Errol Spence, when you've had so many pay-per-views, they've done good numbers, you feel you're a bigger star, you hold more belts, you feel you got better resume and better wins, you're just not going to accept 50-50 if you're in Errol Spence's position. And Terence Crawford is not going to accept 50-50 or anything less than 50-50 because he feels that he's accomplished more than Spence. So I do really, listen, I do hope that I'm wrong, and I do hope that they can come to agreement and they can fight one another and it can get made. But I'm not holding my breath. But most importantly, I think this Ugas-Spence fight, I don't see this as a gimme fight anyway. I look at this as a proper 50-50 fight. I won't be surprised if Ugas beats Errol Spence. I'm just going to be brutally honest. I won't be surprised because Ugas can really fight. He's tall. He's big at the weight. He's a very good fighter, very skilled fighter. So yeah, I won't be surprised if there's an upset in this fight, especially with what Errol Spence has gone through over the last couple of years. Yeah, this won't surprise me one bit if Ugas pulls this off. But yeah, leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.